Did you know that there is a tribe that has lived on the same land for more than 65,000 years, when most of the world's civilizations had not yet been born? Even before the Egyptian pyramids were built, they were already walking in the Australian desert, hunting, telling stories, and preserving nature in a way that was passed down from generation to generation. They didn't build skyscrapers.com, does not have modern technology, but they managed to survive for tens of thousands of years. Who are they? They are the Aboriginal tribe, the Indigenous people of Australia, who are considered one of the oldest cultures that still survive in the world to this day. What is their origin? Why are they so close to nature? And how are they able to maintain their traditions for thousands of years? Let's explore the incredible story of one of the oldest cultural heritages of mankind. The Aboriginal tribe is an Indigenous Australian who is believed to have lived on the continent for more than 65,000 years. Scientists believe that their ancestors came from Southeast Asia. In the Ice Age, thousands of years ago, the sea level was much lower than it is now. This allowed ancient humans to travel from what is now Indonesia to Australia through a series of short land and sea crossings. The journey is not an easy thing. They had to cross the ocean with very simple equipment, but their navigation skills show that ancient humans were much smarter and more skilled than we often imagine. After arriving in Australia, they spread throughout the continent, starting from hot deserts, tropical forests in the north, to mountainous and coastal areas. Over thousands of years, these groups have developed into hundreds of different communities, with their respective languages and traditions. Before the arrival of Europeans in 1788, it is estimated that there were more than 2 Aboriginal languages spoken throughout Australia. This shows how diverse their culture is. One of the most amazing things about the Aborigines is their relationship with nature. For them, land is not just a place to live. The land is part of their identity. Every river, rock, mountain, and tree has a deep spiritual meaning. They live as hunters and hunters. They hunt kangaroos, catch fish, and collect fruits and wild plants. But they took enough. They believe that nature must be maintained so that it can still provide life for the next generation. For tens of thousands of years, they developed extraordinary knowledge about the environment. They know the season based on animal behavior. They understand which plants can be eaten and used as medicine. They also use controlled burning techniques to prevent large forest fires. This technique is now even studied, again, by modern scientists, because it is proven to be effective in managing ecosystems. This knowledge that is passed down from generation to generation is often referred to as one of the oldest environmental knowledge systems in the world. One of the most interesting aspects of Aboriginal culture is the concept known as Dreamtime or dreaming. Dreamtime is not just a folk tale. This is the foundation of their spiritual beliefs. According to Aboriginal beliefs, during the Dreamtime period, spiritual ancestors created the world. They form mountains, rivers, lakes, animals, and humans. The journey of these ancestors left traces that are still visible today in the form of landscapes. Each community has a different Dreamtime story. These stories are passed down through songs, dances, paintings, and oral stories. Through these stories, the younger generation learns about law, morality, family relationships, and how to preserve nature. For Aboriginal people, the past, present, and future are interconnected. They believe that the spirits of the ancestors are still present and guide their lives to this day. When talking about Aboriginal culture, we can't miss their art that is famous all over the world. Pit painting is one of the characteristics of Aboriginal art. Through thousands of colored dots, they depict maps, ancestral journeys, animals, and Dreamtime stories. Many of their paintings have meanings that can only be understood by certain community members. In addition to paintings, they are also famous for their traditional musical instruments called didgeridoo. This wind instrument made of wood, produces a unique, deep, and vibrating sound. The sound of didgeridoo is often used in traditional ceremonies and spiritual rituals. Until now, Aboriginal art has become one of the most well-known symbols of Australian culture in the world. The life of the Aboriginal people changed drastically when Europeans began to colonize Australia. At the end of the 18th century, a lot of their customary land was taken. Diseases brought by immigrants caused a massive population decline. Even over the years, Aboriginal children were separated from their families in a policy now known as the Stolen Generations. This incident left a deep wound that is still felt until now. But in the midst of these various challenges, Aboriginal people continue to struggle to maintain their identity and culture. Currently, there are more efforts to recognize the rights of Indigenous people and preserve their language and traditions. The story of the Aboriginal tribe teaches us that progress is not always measured by tall buildings or advanced technology. For more than 65,000 years, they coexist with nature, maintain environmental balance, and bequeath extraordinary wisdom. In a modern world that is moving faster, there may be something we can learn from them about appreciating nature, about maintaining tradition, and about understanding that humans are part of the earth, not its rulers. The Aboriginal tribe is not only part of Australia's history, they are living proof that human culture can survive through thousands of years of changing times. So, what do you think? Has the modern world actually lost some of the wisdom that has long been possessed by Indigenous people, such as the Aboriginal tribe?